Welcome back to Music News Mondays. Let's get on it. So there was a little bit of drama, I guess you could say, where Chino from the Deftones, the headlines of this thing where Chino tells Korn, I do not want to tour with you. With most news, anything kind of blows it up to make it seem way more dramatic than it really is. But yes, Chino did tell Korn that he didn't want to tour with them. It's not something new. It's not like some beef just showed up. In an interview, Brian Head Welch said, and this is a quote, when we see them, it's like, hey, bro, what's going on? But we're not close with them. They just like to do their own thing. We would like to tour with them again one day, but I don't think they want to, but it's all good. When we see them, we just don't talk about touring. We're just, hey, bro, how's the family? Stuff like that. Which is understandable. Just because you're two popular bands doesn't mean you have to tour with one another. And Chino, in an interview, was quoted saying, we did make a very conscious choice of who we're going to play shows with. It was hard to be this young band and having to turn down tours. I can't remember how many times I turned down Korn, and they got pissed at us. Jonathan Davis, would say, why, do you hate us? And I didn't know what to say. I'd tell him, dude, I don't hate you. I love you guys. You're my friends. But I don't want to tour with you. I don't want to be on the Family Values tour with you and Limp Bizkit. The name of the genre was new metal, so anything that is new is one day going to be old, and I didn't want to be old with it. That's pretty understandable to me. There's no real drama going on there. It's just making conscious business decisions on your brand and where you want to take your music. But Chino kind of caught some fire for that, which I don't really think that's deserving that he did, but somebody's got to point their torch in a direction at some point, I guess. In the interview that Chino said that, or confirmed that he didn't want to tour with Korn again, was with Metal Hammer, which I'm not familiar with them, but if you want to look it up, there you are. And another piece of news, which kind of involves Korn, actually just involves Jonathan Davis, but Motionless in White, which is a band, they released a song from their Graveyard Shift album. The song is called Necessary Evil, and it features Jonathan Davis, which if you haven't guessed by now, he's the singer of Korn, frontman of Korn. I listened to this song yesterday, 2 days ago. I think it was yesterday. And immediately I could hear it. It sounds to me like a Korn song. Granted, it's just Jonathan Davis being featured in the song, but whenever you hear it, it just sounds like something that Korn would write and play. And I really like the music of it. And Motionless in White is currently on tour, so you can catch them if they're going to be near you. I don't know if it's in the States or over in Europe or where they're at, but it would be interesting to find out how they recorded that collaboration with Jonathan, because something that many people don't quite understand or they don't really think about is collaborations. Whenever you have a big artist which is featured on a song or on an album with another band, or you get a band that works with another band, or however you want to put it, very rarely are those two entities together writing and recording that music. It could be that Motionless in White recorded the song, recorded the main vocal from Chris Motionless, and wrote all the lyrics and put it all together, and then just sent the file of the music and all the details and the scoring of the song to Jonathan Davis's manager to have Jonathan record in a studio somewhere, wherever he happens to be at the time, or even on the bus, which is possible. And Motionless in White and Jonathan Davis could have never actually spoken or had any communication together. That's how a lot of collaborations in the music industry work whenever you get to a certain point. It's not like, or not all the time anyway, where if somebody does a collaboration with Jonathan Davis, you meet up at a studio and you hash out the song and both singers are there throwing it back and forth. That's the ideal dream, but less than 1% of the time is that actually what's going on. It'd be interesting to see how they went about that. Slipknot just passed 1 billion views on their YouTube channel, which that's a pretty big deal. And in celebration for that, they were issued a 360 degree video camera, and they filmed them performing The Shape live. And you can go find that. I haven't actually seen the video for it. It could be horrible, could be cool, I don't know. But what I thought was interesting is they're celebrating 1 billion views on YouTube. And this is Slipknot, mind you. Okay, let's go over to, say, PewDiePie's channel. Now, of course, PewDiePie is the biggest YouTuber ever, but it is just crazy to think that PewDiePie has 15 billion views. Actually, 15,225,408,855 as recording of this video. And Slipknot is celebrating 1 billion. Now, granted, 1 billion, that's a lot of views. I don't have a billion views. It'd be cool if I had a billion views. It'd be cool if I had a million views. But whenever you tie two completely separate entities together and you think about it, it's pretty cool to think about. You know, PewDiePie has dominated a market that Slipknot isn't even close to yet. I'd be really proud if I was PewDiePie. That's a good job. Go him. Shinedown will be doing a headlining tour with Lacy Sturm. If you don't know who Lacy Sturm is, she is the former singer of Flyleaf. She released a solo album. Well, it's kind of a solo album. It's her name on the band project, but she has a band, like her husband is a guitarist in the band. So I don't know if you technically call that a solo project since it's just her name. Anyway, it's called Lacy Sturm. She released a solo album, or an album with the, never mind. Lacy Sturm album, Life Screams, that's what it was called, which has the title track, Life Screams, a track called Impossible, a track I'm Not Laughing, and a track Rot. Ooh, I have a song called Rot. Go Lacy, good job. So that's pretty cool to see them hooking up and to see Lacy out on the road again. She's an amazing, talented person. Great singer. Seems really nice too. I think if I ever met her one day, it'd be wonderful. I saw Shinedown 2 years ago, I think. And that was a pretty good show. And I mentioned it in an earlier Music News Monday where Brent Smith came out on the stage, and something that he did that really struck a chord with me was that he pulled all the security guards who were on the front. He asked them to come up to the front where he knelt down and shook all of their hands and said thank you. I was right on the rail and right in front watching this, and I could hear him say thank you to each and every one of these security guards. And I thought that was a really great gesture. And I think there needs to be more of that in the music industry, and more people need to understand and appreciate those who work to make it all run seamlessly. You know, the crews for the band and the security guards for the venue. I thought that was really cool, and my hat's off to Brent Smith for doing that. And Rob Scallon covers For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica using a bunch of bell instruments. That had to have been one crazy video to film and organize and get all together. You know, one thing that I found about Rob is he posts far less frequently now than I guess he used to, but his videos are extremely complex, and he's really carved out his own trench, or his own niche in the YouTube community and in the music community. He seems very humble. I've never met him. I've never, been around him, so I could be entirely wrong, but I'll have to go watch this. I haven't listened to the cover that he did yet. I'll have to check it out and see how it is. I'm sure it'll probably be on the sidebar maybe, or in the recommended videos. His videos seem to get pretty popular pretty quick, so finding it shouldn't be so hard. And it was part of his thing that he's also done this in the past. It's called Metallica, where he covers Metallica songs. And it's a pretty cool thing that he does. So definitely check it out. You can follow me at Stenosis Music on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. If you want to see more Music News Mondays and more about the life of a musician, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button on the video. It makes me feel good. If you want to pick up some Stenosis swag, merchandise, there's a link down in the description for you. And if you want to pick up some of the equipment that I use, like strings and picks, microphone, the link's down there also. We'll see you next time.